Do you have a favorite fast food restaurant? What if one day you decided to have lunch at your favorite spot only to find it's closed? For good. Not only would you be hungry, but you'd be baffled and disappointed thinking, what happened? Maybe even angry? Here are 10 fast food restaurants that no longer exist. Be sure to stick around for the last bonus restaurant because technically it was a goner. You'll want to see who saved it. All-Star Cafe. The All-Star Cafe by Planet Hollywood was launched and backed by famous sports legends like Wayne Gretzky and Joe Montana. The idea was to make a cool spot where fans could eat and watch sports and possibly spot a famous sports celebrity, just like at Planet Hollywood. It opened in the 1990s and quickly became a favorite spot for sports lovers, with sports memorabilia on display and live sports on TV. It had many locations, just like their counterpart, Planet Hollywood.
Get on inside and get some dinner.
Although it started off well and famous athletes supported it, the All-Star Cafe didn't last. In the late 1990s, Planet Hollywood, facing financial problems, decided to sell the official All-Star Cafe. They stopped opening new ones, like the one they planned in Chicago. They even had a restaurant at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at Disney in 1997, but that didn't help either. The last cafe closed in 2007, marking the end for the official All-Star Cafe.
All-Star Cafe.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Pizza Haven. Pizza Haven started in 1958 in Seattle, near the University of Washington, and was one of the pioneers to deliver pizza right to your door. Ron Bean and his friends made it grow into 42 restaurants in the Pacific Northwest and California, with over 700 people working for them. They even opened places in Russia, Poland, and the Middle East. But in the late 1990s, Pizza Haven had a hard time making it due to the compensation problems with renting spaces in malls and some bad decisions. They also missed paying taxes, which worsened things, leading them to close almost all their restaurants in 1998. The last Pizza Haven at Seattle Center closed in 2012. Burger Queen. Burger Queen, which started in Florida in 1956, quickly became a beloved fast food chain in the Southeast, specifically for its burgers, fried chicken, and a mascot named Queenie Bee. Surprisingly, it has no relations with Burger King. It was a place where people hung out with family and friends. It stood out among its competitors because it was known for its friendly service and had unique regional food. But as things in the fast food world changed in the 80s, Burger Queen had to try to update its look and name to druthers to attract more people. Despite their efforts, it struggled to keep up with all the new fast food places. By 1990, most of its restaurants became Dairy Queens, and the name Burger Queen was no more. Burger Queen's story shows how fast the fast food industry can change and how hard it can be to keep up with what people want.
Hey! Get one of your own. Those are mine.
Royal Castle. Royal Castle was a beloved American fast food chain that made its mark in the 1950s and 1960s, primarily in the Southeast, with a strong presence in Florida and Ohio. Founded in Miami in 1938 by Bill Singer, the restaurant was known for its small, square hamburgers, like those of White Castle, birch beer served in frosted mugs, and its 24/7 operations. It was a big deal, with over 150 spots at one time, and people liked going there. Their restaurants were cozy, mostly just a counter to order and eat, which made people feel close and friendly there. Although it was doing great and had lots of fans, Royal Castle found it hard to keep up when McDonald's and Burger King got bigger. The ever-changing landscape and oil crisis of the 70s made dining out very difficult. By the late 1980s, most Royal Castles were gone, but a few hung on until the early 1990s. There's still one Royal Castle left in Miami. It's run by a former employee, keeping the nostalgic restaurant alive for people who miss it.
15 in Miami. Some have become other restaurants. Others are banks or savings and loan offices.
Taco Viva. Taco Viva was a Mexican fast food chain that started in Florida in the late 1960s, just as Mexican food was getting popular in the U.S. It was known for tasty, real Mexican food and grew to more than 85 locations in Florida in the early 80s. Taco Viva stood out because it used fresh, good quality ingredients. It was known for more than just tacos. They had burritos, enchiladas, and even a special wet burrito. Taco Bell eventually came to Florida in the 1980s with a bunch of locations and cheaper prices, making it tough for Taco Viva. Facing these big competitors and other money problems, Taco Viva started closing in the late 1980s. By the early 1990s, it was gone, leaving behind only good memories for the people who used to eat there.
You say taco, say Viva. When you say taco, say Viva.
Chicken George. Founded in Baltimore, Maryland by Theodore Holmes in 1979, the Chicken George name was inspired by a character from Alex Haley's novel and TV miniseries Roots. The chain quickly became known for its unique recipes and flavors, setting it apart from other fast food outlets. Soon after, they opened restaurants in other major cities like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Los Angeles. At the time, the Baltimore Sun reported Chicken George was the largest black-owned fast food company in the country. Their recipe for success was simple. They were focused on making their chicken taste good, which made lots of people coming back for more. Eventually, they ran into money problems and couldn't keep going. In 1991, Chicken George filed for bankruptcy, a move that led to its dissolution. There are other Chicken George establishments in the UK and Australia that share the same name, but they are not related.
Your fight was well fought, Chicken George. Well fought.
Thank you, sir.
Two Pesos. Two Pesos, a restaurant that started in 1982 in Houston, Texas, was the first of its kind to serve Tex-Mex food fast. The founder, Marno McDermott, wanted to make a chain of restaurants that served Tex-Mex food in a fun patio setting. He first considered joining another restaurant called Taco Cabana, but that didn't work out, so he decided to start Two Pesos instead. The restaurant was different because you could eat outside on a patio. They also had lots of dishes to choose from. Two Pesos grew quickly, opening more places in Texas, but stayed away from San Antonio, Taco Cabana's market. As Two Pesos got bigger, it ended up in a big legal fight with Taco Cabana about who had the right to the restaurant's look and style. In 1992, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Taco Cabana. After losing in court, Two Pesos was sold to Taco Cabana in 1993.
It's mouth-watering fun at 2 pesos for the whole family.
Henry's Hamburgers. Henry's Hamburgers started in 1954 by the Bressler's Ice Cream Company as part of the business model to also sell shakes and malts. They named it after Henry Bressler, and it was one of the fast food pioneers to sell hamburgers, just like McDonald's. It got big in the 1960s with more than 200 locations nationwide, especially with the drive-in concept. Henry's was known for a great deal where you could get 10 burgers for just $1. At one point, there were more Henry's Hamburgers restaurants than McDonald's. But by the mid-1970s, things got rough. Competition, changing consumer preferences, and infighting led to a gradual decline, with most Henry's Hamburgers locations closing. Today, only one franchise restaurant remains in Michigan.
All for the love of taste, that great Henry's taste.
Wimpy's Grill. Wimpy's Grill, as it was known in the U.S., was a big name in the hamburger scene. It started in 1934 in Bloomington, Indiana by Edward Gold and inspired by, you guessed it, Wimpy from the Popeye cartoons. Later in 1954, a company called J. Lyons & Co. licensed the business in the UK and called it Wimpy Bar. Wimpy's Grills was among the first to offer a fast food dining experience with a focus on hamburgers, chicken, and French fries. Wimpy's made a big splash around the world by changing a little bit to fit in with what people in different countries like to eat, but it kept its main dishes the same. At the top of its game, Wimpy had 1,500 spots all over the world. It was without a doubt very popular. However, by 1977, there were only 7 locations and Edward Gold had passed away. Wimpy's restaurants in the United States closed, but the legacy of the business is thriving in South Africa, the UK, and the Middle East under the leadership of famous brands.
What'll it be, pal? I'll have a hamburger, for which I will gladly pay you Tuesday.
Milligan's Beefy Burgers. Milligan's Beefy Burgers, started by Elmer B. and Dorothy Hare Milligan in Stark, Florida in 1942, marks an important part of American fast food history. The Milligans were way ahead of their time by making their service fast and letting people order from their cars. This cool idea caught on in the fast food industry. In their first year, they made almost 500,000 Beefy Burgers. Once they decided to grow and open in Jacksonville, they came up with Milligan's Grill and Milligan's Hamburger Hut. By 1962, there were even more dining locations, including a famous one on Lem Turner Road. Not only did people enjoy their burger, but they offered value. They sold 20 Beefy Burgers for only $1, making Milligan's an easy choice for families to dine at. In 1966, they started the Milligan Center shopping area right by their drive-in on Lem Turner Road. Their big dream was to make a place where people could shop and eat all in one fun spot. But even with all their great ideas and being loved by many, Milligan's couldn't keep up with the competition like McDonald's and Burger King. Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita started in 1968 in Oklahoma City and was more than just a place to eat. It had fun stuff going on like cliff diving shows, fire jugglers, and musicians walking around, all set in a place that looked like a Mexican village with a big waterfall and a cave. In a 2003 episode of South Park, it accurately described Casa Bonita as the Disneyland of Mexican restaurants.
Woo-hoo! What's Casa Bonita? It's like the Disneyland of Mexican restaurants. This Saturday, awesome! Casa Bonita, Casa Bonita.
The brand got big at its peak and opened more franchises, with one in Lakewood, Colorado being the most famous. Even though people loved it for being different and fun, Casa Bonita suffered during the pandemic and had problems paying its staff. In 2021, the Lakewood spot had to file for bankruptcy. However, fans of the restaurant, creators of South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, decided to save it and purchase the restaurant for $3.1 million in the fall of 2021. After 2 years and $40 million in renovations, Casa Bonita reopened in the summer of 2023, thus continuing the family tradition of fun family dinner parties that's sure to create wonderful memories for generations to come. So, the next time you head to your favorite fast food restaurant, don't take it for granted. As you're eating your meal, be sure to soak in all the sights and sounds that make that restaurant special for you. You might never know how long it'll last. If you like this video, give it a like and watch some more.